Hey everyone, Cal Ewing here. I'm a real estate investor, mortgage note investor, proud Canadian, but I also invest strictly in the United States. So everything I do is remote. And so I've had to really focus a lot on how to choose markets to invest in, how to analyze different markets, different states, different cities when I'm making my decisions as far as where I'm going to be putting my effort and time and money in investing in real estate. And one of the main questions I get from a lot of my students that are learning either to wholesale properties or buy rentals, a lot of people they want to invest outside of their own cities for various reasons, but they don't know where to go. They want to know which state or which city, even which province, would be the best bang for their buck and would present the most opportunity or the highest chance of success if they're going to be choosing a place to invest in. All right. So I've given this a lot of thought, talked to a lot of people, and there's a few main things to think about when you're trying to choose which market you're going to be investing in. And it doesn't really matter what your strategy is so much, whether that's rental properties, single family, multifamily, even fix and flips, buying notes, Airbnbs. What you want to focus on is where people want to be, right? So we want to be looking at trends on migration and focusing and honing in on those markets or those states where people want to be and where they're moving into. Okay. And what are some of the things that might cause people to want to move into from one location to another? Well, they are jobs, number one, I would say. So job growth, job creation. They are affordability. So people want to move to places where they can buy more for the same wage. They want to be able to get more for their money. So they'll move to more affordable locations. They'll move to places where there's maybe lower taxes. If they're business owners, maybe places with less regulation so that they can run their business more profitably, more freely. So there's lots of reasons, but one thing that you can do to quickly pinpoint what market to be in is using the UHaul data that they release every January. So for most of you guys probably know what U-Haul is, but it's a moving and storage company. So people hire a U-Haul to move from one house to another, and oftentimes they're changing cities or going across, county lines or state lines or even province lines in Canada. And U-Haul tracks all this information, and they provide a report in January every year of the top locations, states and provinces, and by city the top places where people are moving to using U-Haul, and the top places where people are moving out of, and they rank them. Okay. So I look at this every year when the information comes out, and you can find it if you just go to uhaul.com and you go down to their newsroom. If you click on newsroom, you can see here they just released the Canada top provinces where people are moving to. So this year it's New Brunswick, which I'm surprised a bit, but I guess it's affordable. Sorry, New Brunswickers. Um, and then for US, they've got the states and the cities. So they don't have the Canadian cities posted when I'm recording this, but that's probably coming soon. But they do have the US states and the US cities. So I always like to take a look at this just to see what's changed from year to year. And in this case, I'm just going to tilt my screen a bit. And in this case, so the top states, and in brackets, they have where they were last year. So Texas is once again the top destination state for U-Haul clients or customers, which I'm not really surprised about. That's one of the reasons that I've spent the last 6 or 7 years investing primarily in Texas. Florida is number two, and they were number two last year as well. South Carolina moved up from 4 to 3, so they moved up a spot, and North Carolina moved way up from the 19th spot, and Virginia moved way up from the 31st spot. Tennessee dropped a bit, but they're still pretty high in number 3. Arizona is about the same from 5 to 7. And Georgia made a big jump to 8. So that's pretty cool to see when you're trying to plan where you want to maybe set up your rental business or your fix and flip business or your wholesaling business. You want to be where people are moving to. Okay. Now, if you go to the very bottom end, maybe these are some places you might want to avoid investing in: California, Illinois, Michigan, Massachusetts, New York, New Jersey, Maryland, Arkansas. All right. So that's really useful information. But you can also then, if you want to target this even more, you can go and check out the top lists of cities. And it's funny, this doesn't necessarily mimic the states, as you'll see. So here are the 2022 growth cities according to UHaul. Ocala, Florida is number one, but Sacramento is number two, and that's California. So even though a lot of people are leaving California, Sacramento is still the number two location where people are moving to in total. Um, Palm Bay, Florida. So there's a lot of Florida on here. Auburn, Opelika, Alabama, another Florida, South Carolina, surprise, Arizona. That's a surprise. No. Charleston, South Carolina, St. Louis, Missouri. So it's funny that even though Texas is number one, we don't see a Texas city on here until Missouri City, number 13, I think. I like Missouri City. I bought property there. So there's your top cities. So if you're looking at markets, maybe you want to get involved in, expand into, this is very helpful. And for you Canadians out there, because I know I have Canadian followers, as I'm a Canadian myself, let's just check out the ranking for Canada. So New Brunswick's number one, Quebec is number two, Ontario number three, PEI number four. Wow. Ouch. So my home province of Alberta, I thought we were doing better than this. We fell from the number one place to move to in 2022, well, 2021, to the 10th. It's pretty brutal. Anyways, so there you go, Canadians. So why is this important? Well, people want to go where there's jobs. People want to go where there's opportunity. And all of those people are going to need housing, right? Whether they're buying or they're renting, they're going to need a place to stay, right? So if you're a landlord, you're going to have fewer vacancies. You're going to probably have stronger rents because there's going to be more demand for rental properties, okay? If you're buying properties for, well, if you're looking for places where with possible short-term appreciation, whether you're a buy and hold investor or maybe you're a house flipper, you want a strong market, you want to be able to sell that remodeled home, not have to worry about it going down in value as much. Well, this is a good way to look at because you're going to have increase in property values because there's going to be more demand. The more people that are moving into an area are obviously going to, reduce supply, more demand, prices go up. Now we're in an interesting time right now because all across the board, property values are trending downwards. So if you're trying to mitigate this and maybe move into places that are going to have the least amount of decline in property values, this would also be very helpful to take a look at. So I hope that helps. Set a reminder in your calendar for January of next year so you can see how things have changed and maybe you can adjust your business plans moving forward based on how things pan out in 2023. In the meantime, if you haven't subscribed to my channel and you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. If you have any questions about this or about real estate investing in general, feel free to comment under this video wherever you're watching it, and I'd be happy to chat about real estate investing with you. Until next time, I'm Cal Ewing. We'll see you again.